next to the fire. I think it's more than time that I tell you about the people I was with before riding with you. I cannot tell you everything. Just in one night, it would be impossible. There is too much to say. But I can. I can try, at least to give you a little taste of what life was like before us. The people I was with, we were a gang, a real family. Not perfect, far from it, but we were all we had. Dutch was our leader, our guide, a man with dreams as big as the West itself. He had this vision, a life where we'd be free, when no one could tell us what to do. We robbed, we stole, but it was always for the greater good. Also, we told ourselves. I still remember Blackwater. That changed everything. That job. It was supposed to be our big score. We were gonna make enough money to buy a new life. Far away from all this. But it went wrong. Horribly wrong. Men died. Innocent people. Folks we had no intention of hurting, and for what? A few blood-soaked dollars that cost us more than they were worth. After that, it was a downhill slide. Dutchy wasn't the same. Fear, paranoia, it was eating him alive, and he kept talking about his grand plan, about this paradise we'd find at the end of the road, but all I could see was the madness taking over, and the words losing their meaning. And still, I followed him, because what else could I do? He was our family, he was our duty, even when everything around us was falling apart. I saw so many good men lose themselves, gunned down like dogs or betrayed by those they trusted. John, Arthur, Hosea, Charles, Sadie. We all watched Dutch's dreams turned into nightmares. And me, I stayed, trying to salvage what little was left, even when I knew it was too late. The world was changing, and we were just relics of a past that no longer had a place. They needed savage men like us, because those lands were savages too. But in the end, the wild, wild west ended up being tamed, and when they tamed the beast, they had no use for the savage men who tamed it. So from outlaw we become criminals, and we knew what they did to criminals. We had no taste for the rope, so we decided to find somewhere and to start over. But the truth is, at times that changed everything. With time came progress, and with progress came technology. And technology made the world a much smaller place, with no room for people like us. I think of Dutch more often than I would like to. I think we still carry the weight of his broken promises, of all the things we did in the name of a freedom we never found. just another lost man. All I know is whatever we do, we can't escape who we are. And me, I'm just a tired man with too much blood on my hands and not much time left. We wanted to live free, but we ended up chained by our own choices. And that's a lesson I won't ever forget. I never saw Dutch again after Arthur's death, but I know John did. John, he always was a stubborn son of a gun. Even back then, when we rode together under Dutch's banner, I reckon he never thought he'd had to face Dutch like he did years later. But life is funny that way. It's got a way of bringing things full cycle, whether you want it or not. After all the blood we shed, all the pain and suffering Dutch caused, I guess it was only fitting that John was the one to finish it. The government put him up to it, sure, but deep down, I think John knew it had to be done. Dutch had lost his way long before that final showdown. I saw it happening, bit by bit. The man who once talked about freedom and loyalty turned into something dark, something twisted. So there was John, forced into a corner by the very men he used to run with, hunting down the last of his old gang to save his family. Bill, Javier, and then Dutch, the man who was like a father to him, to all of us. Dutch was holed up in those mountains, hiding like a wounded animal. John tracked him, just like he'd been trained to do. But this wasn't the same Dutch we knew. No. This was a man broken by the world, by his own demon. When John finally found him, there wasn't much left to say. Dutch knew it was over. He'd been running for too long, trying to hold onto some twisted idea of freedom that never existed. And in the end, he couldn't face the truth of it all. So Dutch did what Dutch always did when the world didn't bend to his will. He took the only way out he saw fit, and he threw himself off that cliff, choosing death over surrender to John. I wasn't there to see it, but I can imagine it clear as day. John standing there, watching the man who once meant everything to us fall to his death. Must have been one hell of a moment, watching that chapter of our life close like that. But it wasn't victory, not really. It was just the end of a sad, inevitable story. Dutch's death might have given John some peace, but it came with a price. He had to live with the knowledge that the man we once looked up to had become a monster, and that in the end we were just all pieces in someone else's game. John did what he had to do. But the past doesn't just disappear. Stick with you, haunts you. And no matter how far you run, you can't escape it. John thought he could put it all behind him, that he could find a new life with Abigail and Jack. But, but deep down, I think he knew, like I did. You can't outrun your sin. They catch up with you, one way or another. And for John, that was just the beginning of that reckoning. It's getting late, and we have a pretty long day tomorrow. We should get some sleep. I tell you about the 1000th story I still have. Another day. I don't like thinking about this time. I don't know. Those people, they were not good people. But I do miss them. What does it make me? What does it make us? I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know. Now, just let me sleep. We'll have more story another